When I bump into something that inspires me, I dump it in my spark file. Could be something that I wanna make or how I wanna be. I pump it in my spark file. I jump into my spark file. Let's open up the spark file.
Hi, friends.
Welcome.
Welcome to day 2 of the Spark File Find Your Light Creativity Challenge, a 3-day challenge designed to help you find your creative spark, fan your flames, and shine your glorious light.
This free daily serving of creative inspiration is intended to get you focused on the creative sparks that surround you at all times, those internal and external glimmers, the creative possibility that is everywhere.
Oh, hey, if you've just happened upon us on Facebook or YouTube and
Hello.
you want to join us in this challenge to qualify for a super sparkish prize, quick, go to findyourlightcreativitychallenge.thesparkfile.com and register.
If you are joining us live, let's use the chat for a quick spark round. In the chat, tell us your name, share your pronouns if you wish, and succinctly, one spark of inspiration from the past 48 hours. It could be a scrap of music you can't get out of your head. It could be a mental snapshot that you took. It could be an actual photo that you took, a physical experience you felt in your body, a strong, nuanced emotion that you felt, a sound that you heard, something you smelled or tasted, something that made a strong impression on you. We're going to go first. I'm Susan, she, her, coming to you from the lands of the Mohican people. And one spark of inspiration I experienced in the past 48 hours, I'm wearing it. It's this shirt. I found this white shirt at the Goodwill, and I love a great big oversized shirt. And I walked 2 doors down to the craft store and I got some dye and dyed up this shirt. And I was like, I'm going to wear that to the challenge tonight. And I love it. I love the color of it. And I'm inspired to make more. How about you, Cams?
Suze, I love it. And I love, like, sometimes when you dye things, it doesn't come out consistent, and I've been admiring your shirt all day. It's so
This
smooth and
old thing.
beautiful lavender deliciousness. Yes, that thing. I
What
love
about
it.
you?
I'm Laura, she, her, and the thing that keeps coming to mind for me, I'm coming to you from the lands of the Satsuyapa people, and I'm in Tennessee, and the leaves have fallen, and the sun rises and the sun sets for me, like, between trees, when you see that orange glow between bare trees. I love that. Like, it makes me feel so happy to have, like, a warm cup of something and to see the sunrise and the sunset. It's just gorgeous.
That is awesome. I'm not
Yeah.
seeing other things flow into the chat, which could be people are still typing. It could be that people they're
Am
like,
I a little
that
shy today?
I haven't been sparked. I think it's usually there's a lot more action in the chat. So I'm going to guess either people are still typing or it's a text. Oh,
Yay!
they're just started to
Yes.
flow in. Full disclosure,
Yes.
we've been having internet issues all day long. So let's hear from some of
Good
these beautiful
stuff.
people.
Yeah,
It's
please.
either Andrea or Andrea, she, her.
Mhm.
The fresh feeling of a post-brow wax. You are
Yes,
a
please.
person after our own heart. That is very sparkish.
Yes,
Karen,
yes.
it's so great to see you again.
Yes.
Connected today with an artist whose work I brought home from an auction last June. Wow,
Oh,
what a
what?
spark.
I
Nothing I love
love.
more, connecting with the artist
Mhm,
that made the
mhm.
thing.
Yes. Yes, please.
Here's Eric. Eric, thanks for that book spark from yesterday. A little cat came running up to me on a walk yesterday, demanding attention. Beautiful.
That's so cute.
That's beautiful.
Little cats are good for our nervous system too. I just learned that.
Just
I'm gonna
little
do a
ones.
spark about it. So listen to the podcast. I'll expand.
Tori shared, I got to have a lovely conversation with some of my grandmother's
Oh
friends.
my God.
Intergenerational sparks. These are
The
so
best.
good. Rachel
Mhm.
coming in with my holiday tea that I made this morning. These are so great.
Oh.
These are so wonderful. I just
Oh,
want to hear from
gosh.
I'm going to keep it tight, but
Yes.
Christine, flag blowing in the wind in the fading light of day. This is beautiful. What a
Ooh.
gorgeous image. These are so
Ooh.
Oh, we've got it in. This just in.
What? What? Andrea.
Is it the
Andrea.
emphasis on the
Andrea.
Andrea?
Mhm.
Andrea. Andrea. I hope I'm getting that
Mhm.
right. Andrea.
Mhm.
We'll do
Mhm.
my best. We'll do our best.
Andrea, let us know if we got that right. Also, a shout out to Brett. Did you get a fresh new Christmas tree, like a real Christmas tree?
Mm,
That's an adventure in New York. I feel like you're living the full dream there, the full dream.
I
And I
love it.
like that for you.
Andrea,
Yeah.
thank you for confirmation on the pronunciation of your name.
Yay.
I really appreciate that. We're so happy that all of you are
Yay.
here.
We can relax. Whew. Thank you, Andrea. Oh my gosh. All right, listen. All right, Brett. Yes, real tree. I cannot wait. I want to see a picture once you've decorated it. All right. If you're just joining us now, first of all, let us bring you up to speed. I'm Laura Camion, and that is Susan Blackwell, and we are the hosts of the Sparkfile Creativity Podcast, available wherever you get your quality podcasts.
That's right.
And we're creativity coaches who support people like you as you surface your creative dreams and then, most importantly, make them a reality.
In addition to our creative bona fides, Laura and I have been creative collaborators for 20 million years, so we know a bit about collaboration. But some of those bona fides include working on Broadway and off Broadway with shows like Title of Show and Blue Man Group. We have written,
Yeah.
composed, painted, taught, orated, and created with the best of them. And all of our experience and expertise culminates in the Sparkfile podcast, our workshops, and our creativity coaching practice. So that's us. And we love getting to know you in the chat, IRL, at these workshops. It is one of the great joys of our life.
It really is. So, before we dive in tonight, you're going to want to make sure that you have something to write with and something to write on. And be sure to grab those lists from yesterday, all of those delicious sparks that you gathered, including at least one visual image of something that lights you up. If you forgot that part of the assignment or you weren't able to join us yesterday, don't worry, we've got you covered. We're going to provide you with one of the most sparkish visual images ever captured on film. And that is a promise. So while folks are gathering their supplies, we want to mention what's going to happen over the coming days. We're going to meet for about 30 minutes each day at 7 p.m. Eastern to connect, inspire, and then we're going to leave you with some action steps to get your creativity flowing and get your mind focused on the sparks flying all around you.
Thank you for that, Laura. Now,
Mhm.
this is the Spark File, Find Your Light Creativity Challenge. And while that means there will be much creative inspiration, it also means there's a big old prize on the table for the winner of this challenge. One creative challenger is going to win a spot in the Sparkfile 2024 New Year Creativity Kickoff. It's a 2-day workshop that takes place on January 6th and 7th via Zoom, and it is designed to refocus your creative vision and put a game plan and support in place to create the most inspiring, self-expressed 2024 imaginable. No matter what you have been dreaming of creating or completing, the 2024 New Year Creativity Kickoff is going to clear your head. It's going to focus you up and move you towards that big creative goal. And our winner is also going to receive a Sparkfile goodie bag that is so good. So the workshop and the goodie bag combined are valued at over $500. But even more important than any dollar value, we have just seen time and time again how it really moves the needle for people, creatively speaking. So to win that prize, you have to complete the challenge. All the instructions are in the daily email that you're getting if you registered. And if you haven't registered, but you want to, you can go to findyourlightcreativitychallenge.thespackfile.com to register.
Suddenly we're based in Boston. Listen, I trust that we are all back with our pens, our notebooks. If you have your cell phone, you might want to join us in putting it on airplane mode or silencing it. even better, to minimize distractions.
Ooh.
Ooh. All right, friends, we're getting right into it. Go ahead, and turn to a fresh sheet of paper and date the top of the page, November 29th, 2023. Today, we're going to be sharing with you the second in a series of 3 mini sparks on creativity. To get ready for that, people who create consistently are often supported by a focusing ritual. These small focusing rituals are one way to tell your brain it's time to begin creating. So, what we're going to share today is actually a ritual that we use to kick off the weekly SparkFile Creativity Lab, a virtual creative rec center where current members of the SparkFile community meet up on Zoom, roll up their sleeves, and get to work on their projects. No matter how they choose to use their time in the Creativity Lab, we always start out with this ritual, which was introduced to Suze in Linda Berry's writing workshop. Each time participants were preparing to create, as you are now, Linda Berry would read the following poem, written by the 13th century Persian poet Rumi. For some reason, this poem always helps get our minds into a creative flow state.
The Diver's Clothes Lying Empty by Rumi. You are sitting here with us, but you are also out walking in a field at dawn. You are yourself the animal we hunt when you come with us on the hunt. You are in your body like a plant is solid in the ground, yet you are wind. You are the diver's clothes lying empty on the beach. You are the fish. In the ocean are many bright strands and many dark strands, like veins that are seen when a wing is lifted up. Your hidden self is blood in those veins that are lute strings that make ocean music, not the sad edge of surf, but the sound of no shore.
Mm, mm, mm.
The beautiful illustration of that poem was made by SparkFile community member Jill Dreyer. Thank you, Jill.
Thanks, Jill.
And we'll be sure to share that Rumi poem and Jill Dreyer's illustration in our day 2 email for everyone who has registered.
Yes, we will. All right, now that we've signaled to ourselves that we are ready. Why did I just have Meryl Streep from Devil Wears Prada in my mind? Are we ready? Let's begin with an immediate infusion of creativity. Please turn back to your fresh sheet of paper. We've already dated the top of this page, November 29, 2023. The artist Michelle Jemic said, "We surround ourselves with things we love, things that are useful and comfortable, that inspire us through their beauty or that capture memories of people and moments we treasure, things that represent who we are. I have made it my mission to capture these moments in just one continuous line." If you're not familiar with the term, a continuous line drawing is one in which a single unbroken line is used to draw an image. Some of the most famous examples date back to the early 20th century with the single line drawings made by Picasso. Picasso was not only known for his paintings, but also these single line drawings, which took complex, realistic subjects and simplified them into one single unbroken line. Many, many artists have done the same, and now it's our turn. In a moment, we are going to create a continuous line drawing. So remember that image we asked you to bring yesterday? One of those things that lights you up. You can use that, or you could use a photo from your camera. You can look around your space right now, whatever space you're in, and allow your eyes to settle on something that brings you joy. As Karen said yesterday, something that gives you a feeling of gain, not drain. And if you don't have an image handy, we will share one with you. Susan saves this image on her computer with the title, "The Greatest Photo Ever Taken." Sparks are everywhere, folks. Sparks are everywhere. If you want to use that greatest photo ever taken as your image, don't worry, we're going to bring it back up in just a moment. Now, once you have identified your image, you're going to place your pen or your pencil on the blank page in front of you. And without lifting your pen or pencil from the page, you are going to have 2 minutes to draw that thing that brings you joy. Notice if you're experiencing any chatter in your mind right now, any visceral feelings or resistance, any voices that are saying, but I don't draw. That's not my thing. I don't do that. Or I've never drawn before. I don't do this. If any of that is present, it's okay. It's truly okay. You can feel all those feelings and you can do it anyway. Simply focus on the thing that brings you joy. And when we start the timer, place your pen or pencil on the page. Use one continuous line to draw it. That's it. We're going to start the clock. 2 minutes starting now.
And that is time. Well done, everyone. Look, you've already created something today. You fanned the flames, you made something, and now you get to choose. You can share it on social. You can share it with us at thesparkfile@gmail.com, or you can keep it to yourself. The choice is always yours. We were so inspired by continuous line drawings recently for a few reasons. Number one, for many artists, one line drawing is a way to simplify the complex world around us. And what better time than now to try to simplify the complex world around us? And two, we like to think of the parallels to the creative process. Once you start, if you want to experience the satisfaction of completing and sharing your work, you must keep going. You can pause, certainly. You can change your perspective or the position of your hand, but you must persevere. You must not stop if you want to experience the satisfaction of completing and sharing your work. In fact, one of our very favorite visual representations of the creative process is a continuous line drawing. What people think success looks like versus what success really looks like. It could also be defined as what people think the creative process looks like versus what it really looks like. Ain't that the truth? So, the topic of today's challenge is focused on the second step of the spark cycle of creativity, the doing of the work, what we again call fanning the flames.
The Stoic Marcus Aurelius wrote, "A blazing fire makes flame and brightness out of everything that is thrown into it." We believe this is true. But if you have ever tended to a campfire or a flame in the fireplace, you know that it needs continual fuel. It needs to be fed or the fire will go out. As we say around the Spark File, making things of quality takes time. And during that time, you will endure ups and downs, days you feel great about your work, days when you don't. You're going to need to sustain your enthusiasm. You'll need to feed your creativity, and you will need to keep going. Thomas Edison said, "Many of life's failures are people who did not realize how close they were to success when they gave up." And this guy would know. According to his very own records, before he finally succeeded in making his incandescent light bulb, he failed 2,774 times. He literally documented 2,774 failures before he reached a working design of an electric light bulb. But he kept going. And as many of you know, Edison did not actually invent the light bulb. People had been making wires incandescent for 100 years, and many people had even already patented light bulb designs. But no one had made a light bulb that could give out a continual light over an extended period of time. The problem, you see, is that these bulbs couldn't stay lit for more than a few minutes at a time. No one had figured out how to regulate the temperature of the light bulb's internal filament, meaning the incandescent bulb would shine brightly, then immediately overheat, and the filament would promptly melt down. Thankfully, Edison kept going in his pursuit to create a light bulb that would keep going. And now our whole world is illuminated thanks to his persistence. As you know, we'd love to think about just about anything and how it relates to the creative process. And in this case, we have spoken to hundreds of clients who have these sparks of ideas. And maybe they even begin a project in earnest, shining brightly at first, only to melt down and burn out very soon after. In the Spark File coaching programs, we focus on normalizing those ups and downs of the creative process, training ourselves with the necessary tools to keep going, keep our creative projects moving forward in a healthy and sustainable way that enriches our lives.
So let's turn to a fresh sheet of paper. We're going to do a big double wide, date the top of the page, 11/29/23. And we're going to do one more continuous line drawing. And this is what we'd like you to draw. It's what we call a big old boom spark, right? Just like a big old cartoon boom spark. And we're just going to give you a few seconds. Put your pen to the page, use all the space you can, and take your jiggity jaggedy spark to the very edges of the page. Don't overthink it. Just put your pen to the page and rock it. All right. You should have something that looks like a big old spark. Maybe it looks like this. Perfect. However you're doing it right. Okay. Now, referring back to that list you made yesterday of things that you love that love you back, you can flip back, review your list, or look at what you assembled for your day one challenge, or simply recall what really resonated for you. You're going to write the name of one thing that you love that loves you back, one spark that sparks you back, write it in the center of this spark you just drew. So if it's little cats, write little cats, whatever it is, you're going to write it right in the center of that big old spark you just drew. Take that moment, write that thing that you love that loves you back right in the center of the page. Very good. That thing that you love that loves you back is going to serve as your spark of inspiration. And we're going to give you 2 minutes to fill in this page with every single thing you could make inspired by that spark. Could you make a gift? Could you make a podcast? Could you design a vacation? Could you plan a community dinner? Would you be sparked into a line of thoughtfully designed merchandise or clever greeting cards or a textile or a crochet pattern? Does that thing you love that loves you back inspire a social justice movement or the fundraising campaign to support it? These things could be large, they could be small, they could be the size of a meme, or it could be a thesis. It's all fair game. However, you're doing it right. List everything you could possibly make inspired by that spark right in the center that loves you back. 2 minutes starting now. Keep seeking. What else might you make based on that spark you love that sparks you back? Well done. Well done, everybody. Now let your eyes scan all over and around that boom spark, all the possible things you could make based on that one central idea, and look for the entry that glows for you or gives you a visceral feeling in your body. Maybe it's saying, pick me, pick me, pick me. Maybe it's saying, dear God, please don't pick me. It could repel you in that way. Choose something that has some charge and some life in it and circle it. Take a leap, take a risk, circle it. Good. This leads to your second creative challenge. Over the next 24 hours, you are going to do at least one thing to advance that creative vision that you just circled, that thing that you could make. Maybe you'll dive in and begin to make that quilt, or you'll start to write that song, or choreograph that dance, or sketch out that idea, or maybe you'll draft a plan. Maybe you'll reserve time in your calendar to dedicate to that creative project. Maybe you'll write an outline, or maybe you'll sign up for the 2024 New Year Creativity Kickoff. It can be big, it can be small. The action that you take can be complete or it can be a work in progress. Just get to making. Fan those flames and be sure to document your work, because remember, one creative challenger is going to win the Sparkfile goodie bag plus admission to the Sparkfile 2024 New Year Creativity Kickoff, taking place on January 6th and 7th, where you are going to be boom sparking your creativity. You know the rules. And if you know you already want to join us for the New Year's kickoff, you can click on the link that Laura's going to put into the chat with an exclusive offer good through this weekend, $100 off if you use the code Find Your Light. So get that discount before Sunday at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time. And if you happen to sign up for the 2024 New Year Creativity Kickoff and then you win this challenge, then your registration fee will, of course, be refunded. And if you didn't catch all that, we're going to send you an email if you're registered so that you got all those details. Yeah.
Yeah. We're going
Yeah.
to do that.
We're going to do it.
Friends, that's day 2 of the Sparkfile Find Your Light Creativity Challenge. We fanned some sparks into flames, and we cannot wait to see what you make of them.
If you have any questions, I'm looking at the chat just in case. I think people know what they're doing. You're
Oh,
just gonna
Melissa.
Melissa.
Come on,
Miss
thank
Machito, look at
you.
that. Hands down the best way to start the new year. It's a goodie. It's really fun. If you have any questions about any of this challenge fun or anything, really, you can email us at thesparkfile@gmail.com.
You really can. And as always, we are writing you a forever permission slip to make your creative dreams a reality and to take all those sparks and fan them into the biggest bonfire of creative flames.
You know, you got to take it
And make it.
Bye. Go and
Bye,
make.
everybody. See you tomorrow.
When I bump into something that inspires me, I dump it in my spark file. Could be something that I want to make or how I want to be. I pump it in my spark file. I jump into my spark file. Let's open up the spark file.
That's the one.